Hello there, people of the internet. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing alright, thanks for asking. It's actually a pretty nice day out here. We got, well, some clouds and it's not that hot. I wanted to come out here and go on a little bit of a, what I call it, a rant or a tangent, or I just wanted to go ahead and talk about some stuff. I've had a lot of people in my comments section kind of, there's Kevin again, screaming like a psychopath. I've had a lot of people in my comments section and they complain about the types of work that I do. And a lot of times they complain that I don't review guns enough. Like, they're like, hey, you show off the same firearms over and over and over. You don't review enough firearms. And yeah, I would love to review more firearms, but I simply do not have the means to be able to do so. Whenever I pick up a firearm for review, more often than not I'm either borrowing it from somebody else or I am just using it myself, and I'll make that one video on that firearm. And let's say I go out, I mean, you guys have seen this one a million times. Let's say I go out and I spend $400 or so, in this case like 500 with all the crap that I had to do to this thing. Say I go out and spend $500 on this rifle. Well, now I'm in the hole $500 and I need to make a bunch of content with that rifle to try and well, get the monetization from YouTube to kind of help pay for this rifle and the ammunition that I send downrange. Try and get, Patreon support or Utreon support. If you don't like Patreon, I know I got that merch store now that I have linked down below, or you could just flat out one-time donate there. There's a lot of things that I try to do to try and accumulate funds to be able to do certain things, but the issue is I'll go out and I'll spend money on a rifle, and it will take multiple times of me showing off that rifle or that handgun or whatever it is that I have before I re-accumulate that money to be able to put back into the channel. That's one of the main reasons why oftentimes they'll go out with full clips of ammunition. You'll see me come out with like 3 or 4 or 5 rounds of ammunition depending on what platform it is that I'm running. In this case, I got some Turkish 8mm to run through this Mauser. This is a 5-shot Mauser. It actually holds 6 rounds, but I've got 3 because I only have a finite amount of resources, and I need to get as many videos for as much resource. Like, I got to stretch my resources out as much as I can between videos. And so as a result, rather than send 5 rounds downrange, let's say I got, 15 rounds of ammunition, rather than send 5 rounds downrange with these 3 videos, thing I'm out of ammunition, I can get 5 videos with 3 rounds with the same level of ammunition, and that's just what I have to do in order to put out more content with a very, very, very dramatically limited level of resources. And that's just how I have to operate right now while the channel is still small. I definitely don't have a lot in the way of support. The Patreon page, basically nothing. Utreon, honestly, I've stopped. I've completely given up on that one. The merchandise, it's not really doing all that much. I got some people that are helping me out with like reloading supplies and whatnot, and there's people that are letting me use their firearms to make content, but besides that, basically everything is coming out of my pocket, and I work for an hourly wage. So that's just because of those lack of resources. That's why I'm very limited to the things that I can show off. And the things that I do show off, I show off multiple times because that's what I have the resources to show off. And there is, what's the word I'm looking for? I have the resources to be able to utilize that particular platform, in this particular case 8mm Mauser, because well, I have some Turkish 8mm Mauser ammunition, and I love bringing this thing out and shooting it and showing it off. And a lot of times whenever I do that, although I'm using a small amount of ammunition, we'll have ourselves, discussions, and we'll talk about all sorts of different things, and our discussions go way beyond talking about just the firearms themselves. Like, I know I checked out this in one video, and I maybe have another follow-up video on that, but despite that, you guys have seen this numerous times on the channel, simply because whenever I'm talking about full-powered rifle ammunition or bolt actions or something like that, I'll break out a rifle that you guys have seen multiple times because I have the resources to be able to run that rifle, even though you guys have seen it a majority of times. Or if I have something oddball like this, I think I spent like $250 on this. This is a Steyr M95 carbine. I can't quite remember. I can't quite remember if I've done a full video on this or not. I think I did the unboxing and that was about it. But this is chambered the original 8x50 Mannlicher, however it is that's pronounced, cartridge. And so as a result, that ammunition is incredibly difficult to find. And whenever you do find it, it's incredibly expensive. And the only way to really get your hands on it is to like actually get it and load it yourself. And that's just a time-intensive process that takes a lot of time and monetary value and a lot of effort. And just because of all of those, that's why I don't utilize something like this nearly as often as I utilized something like this. So that's one of the reasons why you guys haven't seen this. I mean, it's a cool rifle. It's a carbine. It's an 8mm. I think this one is a... I can't remember. I know the 8mm Mauser is a .323 diameter bullet, and this one is like slightly smaller. I think it's a .317, just kind of spitballing here on the size of the bullet that this one would take. I haven't actually slugged the barrel in this thing, so I don't know what size the bore is. But cool little carbine, straight pull. I bet that I could make some really cool videos with this thing right here, but I simply don't have the resources to be able to do it. So if I were to make a review video about this, and I did have the resources for it, then I'd make that review video, and then after that, you guys probably wouldn't see this thing again, just like I did the unboxing. I had the resources for the unboxing because I had the rifle, no ammunition, so no review video. But yeah, now that I've done that, and I don't really have anything else to do with this rifle, I just kind of set it aside until I can get myself some ammunition for it, so I can make a proper video on it. Or if I go out and I know I just picked up not too terribly long ago a 1911, one of those T-Sauce 1911s. I think I spent like a little over $400 for it or something like that. It wasn't overly expensive. But now I've got that 1911 and I made a video on it. I was like, yeah, we're going to test it out, send some rounds down range, check it out and whatnot. But now I've got, you know, this negative $400 and I still have to go out and make content and get ammunition and have talks with you guys because I'm trying to get this YouTube channel to go up to actually be something legitimate. So as a result, I'm at negative $400 and it's going to take several videos talking with that 1911. It doesn't necessarily have to be about that particular 1911. I'll just use it as an example. If I have some 45 ACP rounds to spare, I'll be like, yeah, let's compare 1911s or 45 ACP to 9mm, or let's compare single stack to double stack, or let's talk about steel frame and polymer frame handguns. And there's a bunch of different videos that I can make with that one singular handgun. And that's one of the main reasons why most of my content kind of steers away from gun reviews. Because I will do that one gun review for that one gun, but not only am I at negative money and still looking to make additional content with that particular firearm, especially if I want to reaccumulate money to be able to get ammunition and to be able to show these things off more than I did in just the review video. But I can't go out and get myself another firearm just immediately like that to review unless it's something that somebody is like letting me borrow or something like that. I can't just spawn my money, just summon money into existence to be like, okay, well, I just checked out this $400 1911. Let me go ahead and get myself out of here to go down to the gun store and pick up something else for another $400. There's the argument that I could sell something to buy something else. But many times you are, unless you're extremely savvy and have skills far beyond my possession, whenever you resell something, you are going to get less than what you actually bought it for. So although you will reaccumulate some of your money, you're still not going to reaccumulate it all. So even with that philosophy, well, I find that if I keep it and continue to make content with those particular firearms or those particular objects or whatever it is that I am using with whatever video it is that I'm using, whenever I use those over and over and over and over, I will actually reaccumulate my money at a better pace, and I will have, well, just with the types of content that I like making, it doesn't necessarily have to be me checking things out. Like if I'm over here reviewing this, you know, Budapest 1895 straight pull finish and wood, and just go in depth on something like this right here. That's great for one video, but you guys don't want to see that over and over and over and over. A lot of the content that I like doing is I like having actual discussions with people, not just showing off the guns, but like getting in depth with the firearms community, because you guys are so outlandishly knowledgeable. Like a lot of you people, I know I'm the YouTuber here and I'm the guy talking on the screen, but man, a lot of you guys in the comments down below, you guys know dramatically more than I do. And a lot of people kind of paint me as an authority figure in the community because I seem to know a lot of stuff, but then there's the people who actually know a lot of stuff, and I'm just like, wow, I'll take my hat off to you, and I will just full on admit that I am inadequate in the what's the word I'm looking for? In the presence of people like that. I'm definitely not as good, not as skilled, not as knowledgeable as some of these other people. And a lot of that has to do just with time and experience. I mean, I'm a younger guy, but this right here is what I do, and I love doing it. And so a lot of your older people or people that have been there and done that, they will give me all sorts of knowledge and insight and experiences with things that they saw and did. And whenever someone like me talks about like some historical event that happened beyond my lifetime ago, somebody who was actually there shows up and he's like, hey, you got this right, but you're missing this, and you got this and this wrong. And I'm like, well, you were literally there, so you would know better than I would. And those are the types of discussions that I really like having. And that's the type of discussion that doesn't take a whole lot of money. Like, for example, out here, this video right here is probably going to cost me about $1 to make because I'm not buying anything firearms related other than spending a couple of rounds of this surplus 8mm Mauser ammunition. And, I mean, after I spend these 3 rounds, send them downrange, I already own this rifle. I've already, made tons of content with this rifle. And I won't be using this rifle. That rifle is just... That one right there, the Budapest one, definitely has me a little bit in the hole in terms of money spent compared to money gained. Although I do plan to use it for future content, I definitely have to get myself some ammunition for it, and that's just a little bit more on the difficult side. But a video like this right here is not very expensive to make. It just takes some time to make because I have to come out here and explain myself and talk about things, and then I gotta send a couple of rounds downrange to keep people entertained. Not only that, but I've already fired corrosive ammo through this Mauser, so I may as well send a few more rounds downrange. I'm just gonna send a shot at our steel target, why not? Oh, that poor steel target. The other day I actually came out here. Man, Kevin's screaming like a psychopath today. The other day I came out here with this Mauser, this Yugoslavian Mauser, and I did some accuracy testing out at 100 yards with this Turkish ammunition. This is 155 grain projectiles traveling at about 3,000 or so feet per second. And yeah, I was astonished at how good the accuracy was with that Turkish ammo and this particular Mauser. I know in my Kar 98, this stuff right here shoots like a foot high at 50 yards. However, in this Yugoslavian Mauser, I don't know why, but it just hits like right at point of aim, like right on the money. There's no 3 inches high, there's no 1 inch high. It is just spectacular how accurate this rifle is with this Turkish stuff. And I'm pretty sure that the German Kar 98, I'm pretty sure that those are zeroed out for 198 grain ammunition. I'm not sure about the Yugoslavian rifles. Maybe this right here is just zeroed out for 155 grain ammo. I'm not positive about that. I'm sure that somebody in the comments could tell me below. This is the 2447. So bear that in mind whenever you are thinking about that. So, okay, well, I think I've said all of what I have to say out here. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of rain here. That's nice. It'll cool things down. So I'm going to actually go inside, probably hydrate, grab some more ammo, make another video, and I guess I will see you guys on the next video. I got a couple of really interesting discussions that I'd like to talk about, and some really interesting stuff coming up that I have no idea how I'm actually going to make videos on. So I'm just going to play that one by ear. I will see you guys on the next one. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.